Yo, 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 what's up? It's Chris Sims Unbuttoned, and as usual, it's my weekly segment on the Thursday night game. All odds, over, unders, spreads provided by PointsBet Sportsbook, my homies over there, okay? And we got some good ones for you. I wasn't good last week on Thursday night. Plain and simple. I don't know what else to tell you. There was a lot of crazy variables in that game. I had a hard time getting a feel for that. I said that. But I think for the most part, I've been pretty damn good on these. This week, I feel a lot better about what I've picked out here as far as things that I think can make you a little bit of money, all right? The first one I want to go to, Chase Claypool, okay? Freaky wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 6'4", 235, runs 4.3. He's a mismatch nightmare. Over-under set at 55.5 receiving yards. I think this is the week that he goes off to a degree, or at least more than 55.5. One, hey, this is the first thing I'll say. Deontay Johnson, kind of the go-to guy on the Pittsburgh offense. I think Mike Zimmer and company will favor trying to stop him more times than not. And the secondary for Minnesota, not that great. The cover corners, not that great. Nobody can match up with Chase Claypool. Not their number one corner, their number two corner, or their number three corner, let alone, like I said, I think Zimmer will favor stopping Deontay Johnson, and that's going to leave him, Chase Claypool, with a lot of favorable matchups on the outside, one-on-ones specifically. And why is that important? Because I don't trust Big Ben and the Steelers' offense when they have to read a coverage and pick apart a zone. They've been the best all year long. Just like last week against the Ravens, kind of exploded in the fourth quarter. The Ravens, for some reason, decided to blitz and start playing a lot of man-to-man. Big Ben was fine. I'll throw it up to my guys. I think Chase Claypool is the guy to watch out for this week. I think he's going to have a big game, too. The other reason I want to say that is because the Vikings, they will load the box to stop the run. And that's where I want to go to the next one, all right? This kind of plays hand in hand together here a little bit. You know, this is Mike Zimmer, defensive coach, old school defensive coach. And usually with their thought process is, hey, I'm going to stop the run first. And I think if I'm Mike Zimmer and the Minnesota Vikings, I'm looking at this going, wait, you know, the one thing, I'm not going to let the Steelers control the clock and beat us down while I have a good offense sitting on the sidelines and let Najee Harris and company just beat us in the run game. And all right, so this week we got an over-under for Najee Harris at 70.5. And a lot of you out there are going to go, wait, the Vikings' run defense is not good. It's one of the worst in football. I understand that, but hear me out here. One, it's not a real complex offense to figure out as far as the Steelers' passing game. That favors Mike Zimmer. Two, the Vikings are very healthy on the front seven, really for the first time all year. Kendricks, Barr, Dalvin Tomlinson, Michael Pierce, big run-stopping defensive tackles. Sheldon Richardson at defensive end, who's really a defensive tackle. And like I said, between that, Zimmer's old school thought of, I'm going to outnumber the run game to go along with the Steelers are a little conservative on offense because Big Ben is so iffy at times with decision-making, they try to run him. But Steelers' offensive line, not really that good. I don't think it's good enough to take advantage of a less than maybe run-stopping Vikings defense, let alone I think this is a Vikings defense that's going to show you a little something tonight because they're totally healthy. And it's not a real complicated run game to figure out in Pittsburgh either. It's about 3 run plays. So for all those reasons, I look at 70.5 and I go, I don't think so. I think Zimmer, back to what I was saying a second ago, is going to go, I've got to see Big Ben in the passing game beat me. I'm not going to go down to the running game of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's, again, why I like that first bet with Chase Claypool getting the over on the 55.5. All right, so that kind of plays in together. Now, here we go. Time for the Sims booster bet. That's right, the Sims booster bet. And with this bet, okay, the odds go from plus 110 to plus 160, and hear me out. You know, we talked about, the Vikings. There's not the greatest defense in the world. Steelers defense ain't worth a damn either. Not worth a damn. It's not good. It's bottom 10 in football. It really is. And those stats lately, they're probably worse than that as of the last 5-6 games. Those stats, they're there because they were kind of good early on in the season. There's not a lot of depth on the Steelers defense. They get worn down. There's not a lot of great cover guys, right? We know they got TJ Watt. And they're a little banged up on the defensive side of the ball. And that's where I like my booster bet. Here's the booster bet. Kirk Cousins, 250-plus pass yards. And then Justin Jefferson, 75-plus receiving yards. Now, here's my reasons for this. One, like I talked about with Zimmer and the Vikings, their defense, they're not going to let the run game beat you. Mike Tomlin's a little that way too. He's a defensive coach, old school. That's the Steelers. He's going to, I think, load the box. It doesn't matter if it's Dalvin Cook or Madison. Madison's still really good, and the Vikings play through the run game. So I think they're going to load the box and go, wait, we're not going to let that happen to where they just gash us and kill us in the run game. So from that aspect, I think they're going to load the box a little again, and that's going to leave a lot of favorable matchups for these two down the football field. They know how to feature a guy in Minnesota, as in this guy, who's a superstar, one of the 5 best receivers in football. So they will have a bunch of plays that make him the first read, game plan plays. They're going to get him the ball. I think you couple that with the fact that I think Pittsburgh will overplay the run game, whether it's Madison or Cook, and it looks like Cook is going to play. And then here's the last aspect of why I like this booster bet. There's no shutdown corner in Pittsburgh. There's none. And in fact, when they play really good receivers, they don't really show a lot of favoritism to stopping those guys. They don't double people. They don't do creative things to go, oh, we're just going to take him away. Their defense has some creativity, but it's lost that a little bit because of the injuries, and they've been simplified to a degree. So that's my booster bet. Kirk Cousins, 250-plus passing yards. My man Justin Jefferson, 75-plus receiving yards. And again, those odds will go to plus 110 to plus 160. I like it. I don't think the Steelers' defense is very good. That's it. I hope I deliver. If I don't, talk crap to me online, and I'll take it. I got to take it like a man. Check out my podcast, Chris Sims Unbuttoned, all right? It's pretty good. And again, thank you to PointsBet for providing all these odds and spreads and over-unders and let me do the Sims Booster Bet. Peace out. Enjoy the weekend of games.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.